what he wants me to do is just the initial aspect of it that takes, just a few minutes.
Yeah, not a problem. I'm starting the live stream now. I'm just gonna let it go. All right, we are ready to roll. Hold on. Good there.
This conference will now be recorded.
We are live.
Town of Pembroke Park Workshop Commission Meeting, virtual instructions. Town of Pembroke Park Virtual Workshop Commission Meeting. Notice is hereby given that the Town Commission of the Town of Pembroke Park, Florida will hold a virtual workshop commission meeting utilizing communications media technology in accordance with Emergency Ordinance 2020-009, dated November 10th, 2020, pertaining to conducting local government meetings while under the public health emergency related to the spread of novel corona disease 2019, COVID-19. Workshop Commission meeting, Monday, December 21st, 2020 at 6 p.m. until approximately 11 p.m. You can dial in using your phone. United States toll-free number is 1-877-309-2073, or you can also dial in with 1-646-749-3129. The access code is 352-162-685. Again, the access code number is 352-162-685. 2 hours prior to the meeting, you can submit a text or voicemail at 954-707-9820. Again, the number is 954-707-9820. Any member of the public wishing to comment publicly on any matter, including on items on the agenda, may submit their comments by email to the town clerk at townclerk@tppfl.gov. All comments submitted by email that, if read orally, are 3 minutes or less shall be read into the record. All comments submitted by email shall be made a part of the public record. If any member of the public requires additional information about this town commission meeting or has any questions about how to submit a public comment at the meeting, please contact Marlene D. Martel, Town Clerk, Town of Pembroke Park, 3150 Southwest 52nd Avenue, Pembroke Park, Florida, 33023. The telephone number is 954-966-4600, extension 235.
All right. Let me go here. Sorry, I have to go back and forth till I get this other agenda pulled up.
Mayor, your screen is frozen.
Not frozen, I'm here.
Okay.
It's just
I can hear. Oh, there it is.
Because I don't have a printed copy of it, so it will be off while I pull up the agenda here.
No problem.
All right. Call the roll.
Okay, the meeting is called to order.
And the time is 6:10 p.m.
Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag, the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioner Clark. Oh, I apologize. Commissioner Clark. Commissioner Clark.
Here.
Okay, thank you. Clark Commissioner DeVille.
Here.
Thank you. Vice Mayor Cohen.
Here.
Mayor Jacques.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Hold on, let me log out of this other one. Give it a second. There we go.
There you go.
Better?
Oh, yeah, not better.
Go back here. Okay, additions, deletions, withdrawals to the agenda.
I would like to pull 10-7. I talked to the manager just before the meeting. I saw this item and he could pipe in now and explain we need to get more information on this. And then it'll come, he can fill you in and we'll bring it right back to the commission. JC, you want to mention this?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna, this item will be pulled, and we're gonna do a little further investigation before we finalize these, finalize the contract that'll come before the commission.
Thank you, JC.
And this is 10-7?
10-7.
10.7.
That's the Public Works, that's mine, but it's under what's Miriam's name. But that's fine, I'm fine with that, we can wait.
Yeah, Vice Mayor, this is a good thing. We need to pull it and take a little further look at it. It's not a big deal.
And just to let everyone know, it is Commissioner Vice Mayor Cohen's item. However, I have some history on this. It's important. And since we're all working together as a team, I realize that it's important for me to share this with staff first before we bring it back.
Anyone else?
Yes, I do. I
Okay.
would like to have a discussion, I guess. Don't want to, I'd like to have it pulled off, but have a discussion on 12.2. It's a resolution, the annexation resolution.
Oh, hold on one second. 10-7. Remove. What number was that, Gina?
Mayor, that was 12.2.
And you want this removed?
Yes, I did want to have the attorney to make some changes. If you want me, we can have a discussion about it. But I have some concerns.
Okay. Yeah. Ray, what do you have?
No, nothing. I'm fine with everything on there.
Okay, and as an addition, I would like to have a discussion, open discussion about public works. So we will make this, we'll call it, say, clerk new business 13.2.
Mayor, I have some information also to share.
Go ahead.
There's two items that you should be aware of. One of them was one that I submitted backup information for the Public Services Department. I went ahead and I submitted it last week to the commission, and it was just to add backup information on, let me see which item it is.
Marlon, is 10.3.
Is that which one it is? Okay, it's 10.3, 10.3 or 10.4?
10.3.
Okay, so I uploaded some additional information last week. I did send it out to all the commission, letting you know, but I just want to bring it to your attention. The second item that I also wanted to bring to your attention was that at last Thursday, we had a hearing, an examiner hearing having to do with zoning modification. I went ahead and I uploaded that item to the end of the meeting for 14.1 as a presentation. I was told by Mr. Miller that he will not be attending this meeting, but I would like to, number one is move it to the first item to be heard now, the next item to be discussed, and then if you have any questions, the town attorney may be able to give you that information. Regardless, this one item goes before you 2 more times. It will be as a reading for the first ordinance on first reading for the ordinance in January, and then you will have another reading at the February meeting, which is the second and final hearing for the ordinance having to do with the modification. The only reason this item was brought forth to the commission, and we would appreciate if you would hear it, is because this was an item that was submitted by the client since July of last year, and we really like to go ahead and finish this item.
Okay.
That's all.
So you want to move 14, the presentations up to right now?
Yes, all the backup information you have. It's just more for discussion if anybody has any questions, to be honest.
Sounds good. All right. Reports of committees and city staff. We'll hold off on that. We'll just go to 14 right now to the presentation. And Marlon, who's presenting this? The town attorney?
The town attorney will be, is available.
Okay. Melissa?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'm going to give a brief background on this, since this is just a workshop and you're actually going to have it come before you in the form of an ordinance 2 more times. And Mike Miller will be doing the presentation at that time, but just to give you a brief background. So you have 2 different kind of variances in your code. One is for signs and one is for zoning variance. And this was a quote unquote zoning variance. Actually, it wasn't even. I'm sorry?
Go ahead.
This actually was a modification to a variance which was originally granted in 2001. And when it was originally granted, it's a property located at 2350 Southwest 30th Avenue in Pembroke Park, which is currently an antique store. And in 2001, they got a variance for several things, one of which was a reduction in the number of parking spaces. Unfortunately, when that variance was granted, the order specifically provided that the only use that it could be used for was an antique store. So fast forward 19 years later, we've got somebody interested in I guess, taking over this business or reopening it, but they don't want to use it necessarily as an antique store. That is why there was a modification variance request submitted, and it was heard Thursday. The hearing officer, pursuant to the code, has submitted written findings to you, and now it will be reduced to ordinance form, and that's when you're going to hear it in January and February.
Okay.
And that's it.
What are they wanting to use the property for?
I think, let me see. It's currently a antique store. And I apologize. I didn't know up until about 10 minutes ago that I was going to be presenting this. I don't know exactly what they want to use it for. Let me look at the recommendations here. They actually are asking to open it up to be allowed to use it as a variety of businesses, which are already allowed under the zoning code.
Okay.
It's just that the variance, when it originally was granted, narrowed those uses to one particular use, an antique store. So what Mike Miller went back and did was the applicant originally requested it to be rezoned, or not rezoned, but for the variance to be modified to open up to all light industrial uses. But Mike didn't agree with that broad suggestion. He suggested it to narrow it a little bit. Those are all included in the very lengthy reports that he submitted to both the hearing officer and will be submitted to the town commission as backup. So in essence, the business will be limited to will be broadened to allow it to be just more than an antique store, but will be limited to a certain number of light industrial businesses, which are currently already allowed in the city.
Okay.
Mayor, if I may, if you take a look at the attachment on this item.
I'm looking at it now, so.
They show you the elevations of what they want to do with the project. There's a number of improvements to the building. I mean, it looks like a completely different building. To the east and the north elevation, those will be upgraded. You have some raised parapet walls. They're going to install new storefront glass, add banding detail and scoring, some elements over the glass, some brow elements that they call it. And they're going to remove ADA from existing entry and then add it to, they're going to modify their entry points.
Right.
And if you just look at the attachment, you'll take a look at, and they really want to do seems like they want to do some serious renovation.
Yeah, I'm looking at all this stuff. I was just curious what type of business they were looking to put in there, because I don't think I saw anything in particular. So
I'm not sure if they have anything solid yet as far as the details. I'm not sure. I haven't heard of anything yet. But obviously the code or the zoning code, allows for certain uses, and if that were to change, it would have to come before the commission as well.
Okay.
But again, that's Mike Miller will present that when it's time. He might have more information.
Okay, not a problem.
All right.
Anyone have any questions? Does anyone else have any questions? No? All right, and Melissa, do you have anything more?
I do not have anything more on this item.
Okay, that concludes 14 presentations, 14.1 zoning modification. Now let's go back to the beginning here. Number 6, reports of committees and city staff. 6.1, Broward Sheriff's Office, Captain Croker. Is the captain on?
Yes, she is. Hold on, let me unmute her. There you go. Captain Coker,
Good evening,
sorry,
Mayor.
you're all set.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, and town staff. You should have in your packet the numbers for the month of November, which we did really well. We have a total of 599 calls for services. 127 of those were non-911 calls, and then there were 911 calls were 316. We had a total of 156 self-initiated calls, which would be the park walk and talks, the on views type of calls. For the town, there was a total of 11 arrests. And in the mobile home parks, we had no crimes. And then just overall in the town altogether, we had a total of 6 incidences. Most of them were grand theft autos where vehicles were stolen. We did make 1 arrest on one of those auto thefts. And that's pretty much it for the town. Any questions?
I have no questions. No, I do have one question. You guys mute for a minute for me? Chief, when should we expect the proposal from BSO?
If you don't mind, sir, I actually have the undersheriff is on the call tonight. If you don't mind, do you mind if she speaks about it?
Sure.
Mark, would you be able, she called in via video. Would you be able to log her in?
I mean, she can, what was her name? Does she?
It's Nicole Anderson.
I mean, she can just come right into the room. It's open.
Hello?
So if she can,
Hello?
is she on?
Here. Yeah.
Good evening, this is Colonel Anderson.
There you go.
We received the request for the proposal for services from the Broward Sheriff's Office. However, understanding that the dynamics that this play into, because you currently share services with the city of West Park, it's going to take more than just doing a proposal for service for the town of Pembroke Park. So we're in the process of getting those numbers together. We're going to have to do both. And also, I know that our attorney sent a letter to the town manager, Mr. Jimenez, and he had a question with regards to, I know you want a proposal for police services. Are you of the mindset that fire rescue services will remain the same as a part shared contract with the city of West Park? These are the things that we need to know when we're doing it out, because when we do a proposal.
Ma'am,
Yes.
Can I stop you for a second?
Mhm.
Myself, being the mayor, and our town manager, Jimenez, had a meeting with Coker and all parties at B and said what exactly we were looking for. And that was a quote for police services. That's all, the only thing we were talking about, not fire. BSO is the one who brought fire to the table. That's a separate contract. We are looking at police services only, and that quote for the police services. We clarified everything in that process. A couple things have gone back and forth between the town manager for clarification, but all that information's gone back to you guys.
And I understand that, and I've been privy to the meetings with regards to BSO personnel. Understanding that we don't want to be kind of left hanging out there when we present these numbers. We want to have everything covered, because when we present you numbers, we're going to have to do the same thing for the town of West Park. So that is why we were trying to cover all the bases with regards to, should there be a question on the other end, we want to be fully prepared when we issue our proposal.
Okay.
So that was that was clarification for me with regards to, you are not including fire, but understand that there is also a third party involved in this.
We understand.
Okay.
And Mayor, yes, I did receive a letter from their general counsel, and I replied last week. As soon as I got
Okay,
it.
so again, my question would be, how much longer are we going to be waiting for this? Because we were told that it would be at this workshop, and this workshop, it's still not prepared. So how much longer will we be waiting to hear from BSO?
We will be able to give you a definitive answer. Understand that we come to the end of the year, and our budget department had some pressing things that had to be completed with regards to county and federal fundings, and that thereby there is a delay. Hopefully we can get that to you by your next workshop meeting. And I'm not sure when, is that in 2 weeks or a month or what have you, but I will have a conversation with our budget department tomorrow to see where we are on that. And I will have them reach out to the town manager and give him an update on when he can expect that.
Okay, that will be 1 month, will be our next workshop.
Okay.
Okay, just make sure you keep me included in this so I know what's going on.
No problem.
All right, anything else from BSO?
Just Anderson, have a Merry Christmas.
Thank you, and you too, Vice Mayor.
Yes, long time.
I know, it's been a while.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, 6.2, Fire Department, Chief Kane. Is Chief Kane on the call? I don't see him here. Does anyone else know?
No, I don't think he's on, sir.
Okay. We'll move on to number 7, the Building Department. 7.1, Building Department Report. Interim Building Official Nunez.
Yes, thank you, Mayor.
Anyone have any questions? Howard, could you leave your camera on for us? Commissioner Clark. Commissioner Clark. Okay, Commissioner Clark's not there. Moving on.
I'm here.
Okay, will you turn your camera on for us, please?
Hold on. Is that camera off?
Yes, we can't see you.
Okay, hold on.
All right, 7.2, Code Enforcement Monthly Report. Chief Code Enforcement Officer Lewis.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners. Jeffrey Lewis, Chief Code Enforcement Officer for the town of Pembroke Park. Just reporting for code enforcement for the month of November. In that month, we had affidavit of compliance issued were 7. Affidavit of non-compliance, which means that this property started to comply. They worked on a few items, but did not complete everything. So it's a non-compliance instead of a full compliance, meaning everything has been taken care of. There's only 1 at this current time. Notice of violations issued is 15, and courtesy notices issued as well as 6. In the report, we show a couple of pictures showing what has complied around town in the month of November. 2550 Southwest 30th Avenue is a vacant lot next to the used to be Davis Tours Bus Services. Now it's a different bus service company, but it's the vacant lot just north of it, in which they had overgrown vegetation, oil canisters, and other items on the property. That's the one that is in non-compliance. They have trimmed back the hedges and cut the grass. There's still a couple of issues that still needs to be addressed, but they are working on it. The next one is Coca-Cola on Southwest 20th Street, which is also Coca-Cola Drive. We reached out to Coca-Cola to have the potholes filled in, not only code enforcement, but also public works and building department. And they quickly took care of it by filling in all the potholes. And our last image shows the compliance of 3192 West Honolulu Beach Boulevard, Suite A. The tenants moved out, but there was a violation in regards to the signage all over the windows. It completely covered the entire front end. And they went ahead and the property owner went ahead and removed all of the signage, which brought the property into compliance. Other than that, we are just continuing to work on other items throughout town, including the town website and our town assessment. Does anyone have any questions or concerns?
Go ahead, Gina.
Thank you, Mayor. Jeffrey, I know I asked the guys from Public Works to fill that big pothole over, I think it's on 30th, right by the doctor is it Dr. Toys or Dr. something? He was at our last meeting, Mayor. That building, it's Dr. something,
Dr. Toys.
Dr. Toys. Did they ever fill that pothole, Jeffrey?
Actually, I did hear from Raymond, and he said the potholes in the street were filled.
Good, that's good news. Thank you.
Sorry,
Thank you,
Jeffrey,
Mayor.
didn't mean to
Thank
jump
you.
in.
All righty, thank you.
And Jeffrey, hey, I got one more question for you. Can you just explain to the commission what a courtesy notice is so everyone's aware?
Sure. A courtesy notice is we reach out to the property owner or business, just letting them know what the issue or violation would be. It doesn't include any type of fines or fees that's included. It's just a warning. It could be a verbal warning or a courtesy written warning, just letting them know what needs to be taken care of. And we give them a certain amount of time to actually take care of it.
So it's a warning with a time delay on it, or a time to come in compliance.
Correct.
Okay. All right. And that concludes the building department. Number 8. Howard, did you figure out how to get the camera on?
I can hear you, but I can't get it's frozen. I keep clicking. Hold on. I keep clicking. Go on. Go forward, and I'm going to keep working on it.
Number 8.
I can hear you. I can hear
Finance department. 8.1.
Sir, do you want me to log in and fix it?
Good evening, Mayor.
Hold on 1 second, Harry. 8.1, bills over $500, interim finance director Tubbenfeld. There you go.
Yes, yes. Sorry, good evening, Mayor and Commission. What you have in front of you are the bills for your review. Need your permission to approve them so that we can go ahead and get them paid. If there are any questions, I'm here to answer them.
Anyone have questions? Okay, nothing on that one.
Thank you.
Let me. 8.2 would be business tax receipts and billing update. BTR administer grooms. Do you have a report for us?
I just finished talking to her. She was taking care of a situation, but this is her regular monthly report.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions on this report? No one? Okay, moving on. Number 9, Human Resources Department. 9.1, hiring Miguel Nunez as building official. Town Manager Jimenez, HR Director Menengazo.
Yes, Mayor, if I may, I'm making this proposal, a recommendation that we name our Miguel Nunez as our building official. Apparently, he's been interim building official for quite some time, at least 6 months, the 6 months I've been here. And I believe that it's time to make him the permanent, give him the actual building official title.
Okay, any questions? Go ahead, Ray. Or
He is
Commissioner.
full time, right? Manager?
I didn't hear what you said.
Is he full-time?
Actually, no, he's still part-time, and Yolanda can answer anything, but he's still part-time. But he will be our it won't be a full-time building, but the interim tag will come off.
That's exactly correct. He is part-time, but he would be the official building official. It's just when this was brought to my attention, I looked to see if there were any resolutions or anything at all, any type of history, so I could see, you know, when he was brought on as interim, but we don't have any documentation as far as any resolutions that the clerk's office could find. So I would really like to formalize that process because we've done that with every other department head.
And this is Commissioner Clark, if I may, Mr. Mayor.
Go ahead.
I agree. He's put in his time. He's done a good job.
Anyone else?
Nope, I agree.
Okay. All right. 9.2, discussion of town planner salary and start date. HR Director Menegazzo.
So this would be for Heidi Siegel, and her tentative start date is going to be Tuesday, January 19, which would be the week after the commission meeting, where if the commission approves of the resolution of her salary, her terms and conditions of employment, all of that, then she would start on the following Tuesday, reason being that Monday is a holiday. So she did ask for the top of the salary range, but she does fall within the salary range of the position, given her like extensive experience in the field and that she is a certified municipal planner. I felt comfortable with her being at the top of the salary range. And also she's going to be taking on multiple items. One of the things that building brought up was that right now, some of the inspections are done by Michael Miller, and some inspections used to be done by Todd Larson. So she confirmed that she'll be taking on those inspections. And she also confirmed that she would be supporting in the area of grants, which I know I sent that information to you all, but I just wanted to reconfirm. So again, that's why I feel comfortable with her being at the top of the salary range, because I think that there's going to be a lot of value in bringing her on board.
Anyone have any questions?
Comment, Mr. Mayor.
Can we know
Hold
what
on.
salary range
Hold on.
is?
Wait, everyone can't talk at once here. Go ahead, Howard.
Okay, thank you. I really like the idea of taking on both those inspection roles. And then secondly, I think everybody knows the more help that we can get, the more hands we get on regarding grants is a very big positive. But I don't think you'll be doing as much as we thought one time, because Stephanie has jumped in with both hands and both feet with Miriam, so they're getting the job done. Okay, thank you.
Okay, Commissioner Duvall.
What's the salary range? Yolanda?
She requested 100,000, which is the top of the salary range.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? Okay, next item. 9.3, discussion of police chief salary and start date. Mayor Jacobs, HR Director Menegazzo. I know I messed up your name just now.
No, you did fine. You did
Okay.
fine. Did you want to start, Mayor, or me?
Go ahead.
Okay, so same exact thing, spoke with Mr. Howard, and his tentative start date would be Tuesday, January 19th, again, after the commission meeting, after the holiday. And his requested salary or salary expectations were within the middle of the salary range for a police chief position. It was at 115,000. He's not taking the health insurance, but he will be taking all the other benefits, including the retirement. But that was the only significant difference between Heidi, because Heidi's taking all the benefits, but Mr. Howard would not be taking the medical insurance.
Okay. Anyone have any questions?
May
Vice
I?
Mayor Cohen, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I think we should hold off on this, maybe until we hear from BSO on the 19th. Or not the 19th, our next meeting, our next workshop. And then, then hire him, or, I thought we were going, I don't know, what do you have to say, Mr. Manager? What's your feelings on this?
Well, as I've spoken with the mayor and with HR Menegazzo, a position as the police chief. I do think that you want to look at all your options. You want to look at everything, and you want to make sure you're going to get the best and the most qualified. I'm not questioning at all David Howard's qualifications. He's a good man, and he has the qualifications. But I think when you're hiring a police chief in this day and age, and with all of the, I guess, all of the recent attention being given to police and police reform, I think this commission needs to make sure that you see all of your options out there, and make sure that you see that you choose the one that you feel is best qualified. I am not arguing about, again, I'm not speaking about Dave Howard's qualifications. He has qualifications. But I think in this particular case, like I said, it'd be wise to take a look at everything else. And that was in speaking with HR, our director, Menagazo, and I did speak with Mayor Jacobs about this as well.
Okay.
Anyone else?
May I? Yeah, may I, Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, Howard, go ahead.
Oh, Commissioner Clark. Okay, I think we should, I agree with Gina that we just hold off, and if it can work hand in hand with the BSO proposal, I think that would be more prudent and better and give us not much more time, but we would have it where nobody could come back and say we weren't fair to them. You know, I think that, so I'm saying what Gina said, put it off to the next workshop on hiring. Not saying I wouldn't vote for him. I like him. I just want to make sure it's coordinated so that BSO says, okay, X amount of dollars, and we say, well, that's too much. Or we say, great, we'll do it. We don't know what the commission's going to do. Then we would be clear and we wouldn't be tied up with other strings. So I agree with what Gina says. Wait an extra, what is it, an extra how long, Gina? Vice Mayor?
I said the next workshop, and that's when they said they'd have everything for us.
Or numbers?
The numbers, and if they don't,
yeah.
then that's it. Then we then we move forward. I mean, that's just my opinion, and it has nothing, I think he's great. I like this Howard, you know, but I still want to give them BSO a chance. You know, and this is it. After the next workshop, we don't hear nothing, you know, at least nobody, you know, nobody can come back and say, hey, you know, we didn't try.
Yeah, I think we both agreed on that.
Okay, so.
Or give them the opportunity.
Okay, so last meeting we voted to bring him on as the interim police chief. He still has to go through all the backgrounds and everything else through HR. He's got to go through the poly. He's got to go through everything a police chief has to go through to get hired on. For every month we delay, it costs this town another $300,000. That's what we pay BSO per month, just under. So approximately 300,000. I'm just trying to point out a couple things to you. They knew a year and a half ago that we were moving forward with trying to bring on our own department. We had our meetings with them. They said at this meeting they would have that for us. In fact, they said there were more pressing matters that they had to tend to before getting our quote together. Okay, that was the first excuse for the delay. Fine, it's BSO, they're doing their thing. But this is a $3.5 million 40-year contract, or a $3.3 million 40-year contract that they've had with the town of Pembroke Park. So again, every month we delay is another $300,000 out of the town's budget to continue on with this. Just trying to throw you the financial side so you know how much it's costing every time we push this back a month. We pushed it back a month to for the build out, which we were told we're going to have a build out either way. That happened. We moved forward last month to bring him on as the interim police chief. Interim, not the permanent, the interim, because we still have to continue building this department. It's one thing to go out and hire a police chief when you have an established department. That's pretty easy. Everything's in place, everything's ready to go. They walk into a job that's fully functioning the day they start. In this case, we're bringing on David Howard as the interim police chief for the first 6 months to build this department up. He's still got to continue. Howard, please turn your camera back on. Clerk, or Commissioner Clark, please turn your camera back on.
Oh, you gotta let me work on it, okay? I'm having technical difficulties here. So you can keep on, I am front. I can only go so fast. Okay.
Anyways, every month we delay, it's always something. Last, they said they would have their thing for us this workshop. They asked us to delay from the last meeting. Now it's to this workshop. They're not ready at this workshop. Now they're asking for another month. Understand that other month delay is still gonna cost us another $300,000 for a service that we are still not getting. So I'm just throwing it out there so you guys are aware, but this position isn't just a regular chief position. David Howard is going to continue building the department up for 6 months and then run the department for 6 months. You know, and then at the end of his 6 months, we see how he does. We've done this with everyone around this town. I mean, look at what we did with Nunez just now. He's been here for a year as interim, and we're moving forward to bring him on. We did that with Marlon. We did that with Harry. This is how the town does things. So we're in this place, but I'm just saying this is another delay. It's going to be a month's delay this time, even though we voted to bring him on as the interim police chief last month. So any questions on what I just said?
You know, yes, and Mayor, and I understand completely and respect what you have to say, but you know what? At 1 more month is not gonna break us or hurt us, you know? Let's give them 1 more month and that's it. And that way nobody can say that we did not give them the opportunity. And that's it, 1 month. And then it's over with.
All right.
That's all I'm gonna say. Thank you.
Go ahead, Clerk Commissioner.
All right, I want to say I agree with the manager. I'm okay with us having our own department, that's fine. But I think starting a new police department from scratch, we have to do it right. And by right, I mean, we have to get multiple applicants. I mean, that's the only way we'll know who's the most qualified person, is to have somebody else, you know, have different applicants to compare. So I would say we go out for multiple applicants and try candidates. Go ahead.
Clerk Commissioner, my question would be, in every other position in this town, we haven't done that. Miriam, for example, you thought she was a good person and you voted for her to become the Public Works Director. And here we have David Howard, who has spent the last several months building our police department up. He has spent hundreds of hours building this police department up. I know because I've been going back and forth with him on multiple things, making sure we have crossed every T and dotted every single I to make sure this department goes off without a hitch. Understand, all the reputation of this department falls back on me because I'm the one who's been here pushing it all through. If he screws up, I look bad. You know, if I screw up, he looks bad. All of us look bad. But we have worked countless hours to build this up to where it is. This isn't a normal police chief position, Clerk Commissioner. This is still building a department. We don't have an established department where just a regular police chief is going to come in. So let me explain how this will work. If we go out to look for a police chief, I'm going to give it, say, 4 months to find a police chief, if so happens, which David Howard has to apply. That 4 months, again, is costing us $300,000 a month. Then this individual comes into town hall and he's given a police department that frankly doesn't exist. It's all on paper. So hopefully we pick someone who knows how to take off where David Howard left off. And then he's going to take 2 months to more or less figure out how to finish putting this department together. So now we're at 6 months. The cost of that 6 months is approximately $2.75 million. That is the delay just for a police chief. And then someone that we're just randomly picking out of nowhere, who we're hoping they're going to be able to finish building this department and launch this department off for 6 months. I'm going to have to spend the time with this person, whoever we hire, just like I did with David Howard, trying to go back over everything again to make sure we have everything in place as it is. We've spent this time doing this already since we hired him several months ago to get to the point we're at. We're at the point right now of bringing a chief on to finish the last 6 months of building our department with a launch date of June 1st. We have been getting delay after delay. We're now 2 months delayed on the timeline that we have. And again, every month we delay is another $300,000 that this town frankly does not have.
Okay, so Mr. Mayor, so what are you looking for?
Well, we already, last meeting, we voted him as the interim police chief. And
Okay, so-
Gina wants to wait. Gina wants to wait 1 month before we hire him.
Okay, what are you looking for right now?
I'm talking. Yolanda?
Mm-hmm.
Yolanda?
Yes.
What is the date of our next vote meeting after that workshop?
I believe it's January 13th. Madam Clerk, can you confirm that?
No, but hold on a second, because BSO said that they would have it for the next workshop, so it would be at the end of January, so it'd be the voting meeting would be beginning of February, or the first one in February.
So let me look here on the calendar. We're looking at February.
The meeting to
February
vote
13th.
on, the voting meeting is on January 13th. The workshop is January 27th. The following voting meeting is February 10th.
February 10th. Okay. So
essentially, it's not 1 month, it's 2 months.
right. So what I'm trying to just point out to you guys, this 1 month of delay, and I get what you're saying, Gina, you want to wait for BSO. This 1 month of delay is going to cost us $450,000 at a minimum, because now it's putting back the police department 2 months, because now we have to wait till February 10th for a vote, or to, well, we just have to wait for a vote to figure out what his salary and start date's going to be. I guess that's just wait a second, that's just a discussion item, wouldn't it be? JC?
I'm sorry?
So we voted to bring him on as the interim last meeting.
Yeah, but
So
you need the resolution. So the resolution was never presented, so it needs to come back.
Okay. So on the next meeting on February, let's look at this. The next workshop is January 27th, which BSO will present at that time. If BSO does not have a contract, we can't wait anymore. Guys, y'all been waiting 40 years and they're bleeding the coffers dry in this town. It's 100% of your ad valorem tax is going to BSO right now. So we have that workshop. At that workshop, let's present the resolution. After we get the presentation after we get the presentation from BSO, we'll have the resolution in place for David Howard. And then on the February 10th meeting is our vote for it. Does that sound fair, Gina? Okay. Howard?
That sounds fair. Thank you, Mayor.
Yeah, can you see me or no? No, it's going out.
You can see you.
Oh,
Now you're gone.
am I
Just
on
turn
now?
this on. Yep.
I got too much water near my keyboard. Okay, so I would like to just make a couple comments, and with
Go
all
ahead.
due respect, the way it actually works is that we have lead commissioners, and we know why. And you are the lead commissioner on the police. So far, you've done a great job. But you got to remember one thing: if we're all helping you, or helping me, or helping Gina, or helping Ray, we all own it. We all share. We have since the day one that I've seen this commission operate, and that's a lot of years. You don't get to say it's I, because it's we, us, us. Because if we didn't vote for it, it doesn't happen. And Gina and I have seen that so many years.
Okay,
It doesn't
Howard.
matter. Well, hold
Howard.
on.
I
Yeah, go ahead.
completely
And Commissioner Clark, please.
Howard, Commissioner Clark.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying,
As long
but
as I
I've
understand that.
been the one who's dedicated all this time
Well,
to building the police department.
yeah.
It's
well,
my reputation that's on the line here. Okay?
I think it's all of our reputations, all of us, not just one. That's
Okay,
why.
then we will,
Tina-
Howard, I'm sorry, Commissioner Clark, we will have to agree to disagree, okay?
Okay, so I understand what you're saying, Mr. Mayor, and I'm trying everything in my mind to go your way as fast as we can. However, we have to all realize we have to be prudent because this is going to come back and bite all of us if it doesn't work out. And we're going to make it work. Whichever way we go, we're going to make this thing work. We are working together. We sit up here, we have all this discussion, working together, vetting it, kicking it back and forth, and then we vote on it. Well, if you vote yes, then you are 20% or now 25% of putting your opinion and your vote to make it happen. So it bites all of us, not just one person, the whole commission. But that's all I wanted to say on
Okay.
these. And yes, you are the lead, and yes, you're doing a lot of work, and yes, that's good, and we're getting good information. So there's a compliment, but also I want you to realize the importance of this. And when Gina is questioning, she's not questioning out of malice, she's questioning out of, hey, what are the voters going to say to me if it goes bad? And we're not going to let it go.
Howard, Commissioner Clark, we've gone into enough detail on that. We
Okay,
get it.
I'm done. Thank you.
I think we understand all the way across the board. Does anyone else have any comments? Commissioner DeVoe? JC?
Wait, I do have one comment. Can he continue to work as a consultant? And then we go out for applicants?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. You broke out.
Oh, I said, can he continue his work, Mr. Howard, as a consultant while we go out looking for applicants?
Okay,
That-
we actually voted.
Right now, in
Okay.
order to work.
Clerk Commissioner, we actually voted last meeting to bring him in as the interim.
You guys did, not me.
Yes,
Yeah,
we did have a voting meeting last week, or 2 weeks ago.
And we're proud of it, Ray. We did the right thing.
Well, okay, let me just clarify something. The resolution hasn't been brought to the commission yet for approval.
Yes, the resolution does need to come forward for the salary and the start date for the position. So we will have
Okay.
another vote on that, and we just discussed that on February 10th is the vote meeting, looking at my calendar.
Okay, can I make another comment, Mr. Mayor?
Sure.
Okay, so it really wouldn't hurt us any. I mean, we'd just be talking weeks if we did bring him on and vote for him to continue as the consultant, like you're saying, Ray and Mr. Mayor. So I don't see a problem with that unless the attorney can see something that we don't see.
I can actually explain something to you. The contract for him as the consultant was for $24,000. And that was for many months. He spent much time since he's finished his contract for the consulting. He's still spending time working on this town, and we haven't even hired him. So he's still dedicated to this town to get this department going and in the right direction. So we're actually out of funds to pay him as a consultant.
Okay, so as long as it doesn't hurt us, I don't see anything wrong with letting him go forward in doing as an interim. But I think the big question is, if we go in another direction, then we would be able to terminate the agreement. And I guess that would go over to Attorney Anderson. Is that
Wait a second.
true?
Commissioner Clark, I'm confused on what you're trying to say here. Are you trying to say that we vote on the next, or that we continue to bring him on next month as the interim police chief?
No,
Or are you
I'm
suggesting
saying
we wait till-
let's keep working with him while we're going through the other process. I think that's what I'm hearing you want to have happen. So we continue working with him.
So
Yes.
here's where we're at. Last week we voted, or last meeting we voted to bring him on as the interim. So right now he's got to go through all the background, all the security, everything that involves with hiring of a standard police officer. He's got to go through that whole process with Yolanda. He just doesn't get a contract and be able to walk in. You still have to go through the background checks. He's a certified police officer. So we have to, he's got to keep this certification and everything to keep this going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and we need to pass the resolution next week or in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks. Okay, that's what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Gina, what are your thoughts? Vice Mayor?
Well, my thoughts are still waiting for BSO. Until the next meeting, the workshop, and that's it. And then we move forward.
Okay, so let me see here on the calendar again. Let me pull it back up. Calendar is the 25th of December. Hold on, December. So our vote meeting's on the 13th and our workshop's on the 27th. Yolanda, could we do something to the effect of having his start date be after the workshop, but we continue with the resolution on at the vote meeting on the 13th, and then at the workshop, if BSO comes in with the contract that we decide as the commission to go with, he's still the interim and he's still a year probation with the town. So, we can put a stop to it prior to the start date, if that's what the commission so chooses. Is that what you're trying to say, Commissioner Clark?
What's that?
Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, I'm trying to help. I'm trying to make it so I see your tanglement and we need to clear up. We need to get his resolution passed and we need to keep going forward. I agree. And then BSO will come with a proposal and that is pretty close. So I don't think we don't want to lose time. We want to keep it all going, especially if BSO comes back high. If they come back high.
Yolanda, what do you think about that?
I just didn't understand your question about after the workshop. What do you mean? Do you want to hire him after the workshop instead of after the voting meeting on the 13th? I'm all confused.
Okay, so I believe what I'm getting from Commissioner Clark is he wants to continue with the process of hiring him with the start date and the salary and the resolution for the next vote meeting.
Oh, right.
Okay? But we have, after the vote meeting is on the 13th of January, the workshop is on the 17th of the 27th of the month, last week of the month. So in this case, if for some reason BSO comes in at a number that the commission decides to go with, instead of continuing on with our own department, that we could put a stop to his start date or a stop to his agreement prior to, or after that meeting, prior to his start date. So have his start date after the workshop. So that way we can clarify at the workshop.
So you would want to postpone his start date to February.
Say February 1st. Just anytime after the workshop. Or even.
How would we hire him without the approved resolution?
We approved the resolution.
No, we're approving it on the 13th. We'll approve it on the 13th. But we're saying with the contingency, if they opt to go with BSO, they will not continue the hiring process of hiring him on February 1st. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Is that what I got out of you?
Yeah, Mr. Mayor asked Attorney Anderson, is this okay? Not Yolanda. Where's,
Attorney Anderson,
I am here.
did you understand what we're discussing here?
I have been having a hard time following exactly what is being proposed, so.
Okay, let me give you the short version. Commissioner Clark would like to continue so we don't delay on hiring David Howard as our interim police chief.
Right.
The situation is Vice Mayor Cohen would like to hear the proposal from BSO before she wants to hire David Howard as the police chief.
and what date is that?
And we're trying not to delay. That is January 27th. So the vote meeting's on the 13th. What Commissioner Clark would like to do is push the resolution through with the start date after the workshop. So if at the workshop, it would be contingent on if the commission decides to go with BSO or not at the workshop on the 27th. Is it possible to have that in the resolution?
We could, yes, I can write a resolution and have that word the resolution to make it contingent upon what happened on the 27th.
Perfect. Everyone else agree? Vice Mayor, yes. Clerk Commissioner?
Yes.
Okay, everyone's clear. JC?
Yes.
All right, Melissa, then we will do that. We'll have the resolution at the start date right after the workshop or contingent upon the workshop. Yolanda, we good?
Yes, understood.
Okay.
Got it.
All right, next item. 9.4, hiring person to work on beautification improvement projects. Vice Mayor Cohen, HR Director Meningazgo.
Okay, so I put this on the agenda because what I'd like us to do is if we could hire a company or someone that a maintenance person, somebody that can do a little bit of everything, that can do it all, okay? And to help out, maybe hire a company like a maintenance company to come in and start pressure cleaning, start painting, whatever needs to be done on the streets and the walkways, and to get us caught up, because right now there's just so much to do, and with the guys that we have, we don't have enough people right now to get us caught up. Okay, it would take a long time because this town again has been neglected for many, many years. So, and every day it's more and more, and it's just, we need to bring somebody in that knows it all, that, can do a little painting, do a little pressure cleaning, put a couple nails here, put a couple screws in, but not just hire somebody like a pressure cleaning company, but somebody that can do it all, like a maintenance company, or, that to get us caught up for a while. And then, we'll take it from there. And if we might even have to hire an extra person that knows it all in public works, a maintenance guy, maybe that's somebody that knows a guy just for that one person, where if we need painting or if we need this or we need different, things done, that person that can do it, and that would save the town a lot of money. So that's where I'm at with that.
Yeah, if I may, Mr. Mayor, add on to Vice Mayor's comments. I agree wholeheartedly. And it's not that we catch up. I don't think we've ever had enough staff, Gina, Vice Mayor. And we need to get staff in here that can do just that in public works. And then you could see things, everything that has to be done, so do all of we. And it's just a lot of work. And everything you add to a list, well, that list backs up, and all of a sudden you have to coordinate everything, and it comes down every time to the same thing. not enough people. So where is the money? Ask Harry if the money's in the budget.
Okay, hold on one moment.
The money is
JC.
not in the budget. I can tell you that right now.
Oh,
JC, go ahead.
I would like to, I'd like to make a recommendation. I think if you allow myself and Yolanda to take a look at the Public Works Department and kind of really analyze it, we'll see where we would need help. I spoke with Vice Mayor earlier, and I do share her frustration because you walk down the boulevard and you see a great need for maintenance, pressure cleaning, landscape. You just see a great need. But I would, before you guys decide on hiring and increasing the payroll and increasing your expenses, let Yoli and I, Yolanda and I, take a look at Public Works, make sure we're working efficiently. And if we need people, we'll need people, and we'll get it done, and we'll add people, and we'll make that recommendation. But I just don't want to just say, oh, let's hire somebody, because you just throw them into something, and if the rest of the system is not really working efficiently and effectively, then this person that's coming in, guess what? It's not going to be very efficient or effective. So let Yolanda and I take a look at it. We'll come back to you at the next at the next workshop. We'll come up with something so we can discuss. If Vice Mayor, if that's okay with you, at the next workshop.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yep.
and I just want to add, Mr. Mayor.
And Public Works needs to get involved.
Absolutely, and we'll have Public Works. Our Public Works, I didn't see your face, so I'm sorry, Miriam. But Public Works will absolutely be involved in our discussion.
And we want to keep the whole commission involved, when it comes back up to the commission. We all want to know, because I know Ray cares about things, Gina, the mayor, myself, our vice mayor, and myself. And that's why I'm glad this came up right here, because we need to bring this forward and solve these problems, because it's too frustrating. And I think that with all of us working together, we will get this job done. And
I agree with you. I just give us a month for myself, Yolanda, and Miriam to work together, come up with a plan. And it may involve bringing in a contractor or somebody like off the top of my mind, I always keep thinking a pressure cleaning contractor come in and do all the pressure cleaning and get us all cut up, at once. And that's one thing you don't have to worry about. So when you do bring in your staff, it's just easier to maintain, because from catching up from this point, it's going to take a very long time.
Okay, but I have to kind of disagree. There's another way. I respect what you said, but if we hire contractors all the time, it's going to cost a lot of money.
I'm saying one-time uses, sir.
No, okay, but we're open to anything and everything and suggestions, but we have to do something. We all know it, and it has to be done, and we can do it. And then bring all the items up, like what we're doing when we're going out for grants, and we say this is our priority. We need to have a working document, and I'll bring this back up next month. And Gina, you're more than welcome to jump in it. Ray, I know Ray talks about 52nd Avenue, and I know Jeffrey, our mayor, he's always talking about Hallandale Beach Boulevard when he comes out of his complex. And so we're all involved.
Yeah, Commissioner Clark. Commissioner Clark. Commissioner, can I step in for a minute?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, last meeting, we discussed this in depth about bringing on the new town planner and getting together at a workshop with the town planner and getting a direction with all of us together. So we all have the same vision, we all have the same plan, and we get this town moving forward. We had that discussion at the last meeting. She's got a start date. Once she's on, we'll, like everyone else has, we all take our time, meet with her, have discussion with her, and have her give us a presentation of what she believes our vision is. And we put that goal together working with her. So, she's going to be a critical part to our team here. So we should just wait for her to come on, take that time, and we'll be ready for it.
Okay, it'll be in February.
Good.
And that way, everybody, commissioners, we're not overburdened public works. All of a sudden you throw 20 projects on them. You know, that all takes time and money. Let's let the planner get involved. Let's look at our districts. Let's look at the overall and do it just like we'd be going out for grants. Is that we will bring it up, we'll pick a priority. And I like what you're saying, Mr. Mayor. So that will be in what month? Let's put that down now, the item.
Well, we bring her on next month. I think she needs the time to get a feel for the town.
Okay.
I believe she should have enough time once coming on here to get a feel for all of us and meet with all of us. And we all take the time to take her around town, showing her our issues that we believe there are around town. And then the workshop in February will be February 24th. And that gives her roughly 6 weeks to put something at that workshop together so we can have that discussion.
And then it can be organized for Gina and Miriam to do the work. And we'll get someone in here. I'm sure Harry's got some money hidden somewhere.
We'll figure out what it needs, and at that time we'll discuss it. So that way it gives her some time in place to put something together for us.
Yep. Okay.
I wanted to say something that I just wanted to piggyback off of what the manager said. And one of the things that I've been talking about for a while, about a year now, is that we haven't really been able to assess the workload of the Public Works Department because we don't have any type of software or technology in place that shows the amount of work orders that they're completing, how long it's taking them to get it done, what's the distribution of assignments, are we distributing those assignments to the specialist for those tasks?
And
that's a very inexpensive software that we could have purchased already. So I just want to say, because I've been saying it for a year, that we really should consider that. We should move forward with it. It's inexpensive. And I believe that if we use that tool, we can assign and schedule people for regular maintenance, which is what the town does now, right? We maintain, but we can also set aside time for the beautification projects that everybody wants to see get done. But you can't do it if you don't have the tools.
And actually, Yolanda, that was the discussion I went and had with you when I saw you in town hall last week, but I haven't had a chance to have the phone call to find out what we need to get that program online.
The demos have been done already. I believe that Miriam has made a selection on what her top software solutions are.
Okay.
It's definitely.
If I may interrupt, Yolanda, I'm sorry. The software has already been purchased. The software
Yeah, we already have that.
So
Good
it's good solutions. It's part of the implementation process. Unfortunately, we're probably not going to go live with it probably till this summer of this year.
Can you guys?
But it's already been purchased.
Okay, so the software's already been purchased?
Yeah, we've already purchased it. And that's the first thing on the implementation phase of the software is the work order system to go live. Out of everything, that is the first thing. We're hoping to do that in the late spring is when we're thinking we might be able to go live with that, but we made that our priority for that very reason, because it'll be able to track everything, expense everything, and give you all a detailed. Yeah.
Let me give you my thoughts here, Vice Mayor. That's your department there. Would you make sure that continues and keep us up to date on that process with the Yolanda and IT with Mark and Miriam, and keep us abreast on how that process is going and when we're going to have it implicated?
I sure will, and I'll give you that at the next meeting, Mayor. Thank you.
Yeah, and Mr. Mayor, another comment.
Yep.
If we have, Mr. Mayor, if we're getting ready to build a police department. We're not going to build it half. We're going to build it complete. While we're going through public works, let's hire the people that we need, and let's just get over it and do it. And that's all I wanted to say now. I am pro with that, and we'll help everybody to get this thing going where we don't have to keep. They need everything that we can give them, tools, and they'll do a great job. So I agree with you. Okay.
Commissioner Clark, I think we just all agreed on that. And
Yep.
Since Vice Mayor is the head of that department, she's going to keep us up to abreast and update us next meeting on where that process is at and when we can expect the launch date of that program in town. All right. Anything else on this topic? Anyone? All right. Let's move on. Item 10, Public Services Department. 10.1, Public Services Report, Interim Public Services Director, Jacques.
Good evening, everyone. The first report was for November. That's the one that was not published properly. This is only for proper submittal. So the next one is December. This is the current one. As you know, today the water main was repair started. They will go tomorrow. Tomorrow town hall is closed for non-essential, and they will complete it by the 23rd on Wednesday. In Woodland Street, what's going on is the topical conversation we've all been talking about. We've been doing a lot of assessment of roadways by priority, which one to resurface, which one to do repair, pothole repairs. We have an offer from the FPL to convert our town lighting to LED. I have invited the project manager to come and give a presentation to the town, but unfortunately he is going on vacation, so that will be at the next workshop. This is including all the conversion and all the maintenance. The town will not be responsible for anything except if they want to change some light poles. If that's the case, they said that will be at a cost of $500 per pole to change them out from one type to another. Those will be the decorative pole that similar to the one we have on Southwest 38th Street. Stormwater, as we mentioned last month, I should say, we did do the repair for the emergency pump. It's not yet installed because we're waiting on that walkway to be corrected. That will be something. And then the next thing upcoming that was voted on, and that will be the overhaul for the 3 big MWI pumps. Thank you for approving those. Parks and Rec, same thing. They've done a lot of assessment that we've done. And in terms of projects, our SP are going out. One is later on this month, or is due January. And it's basically routine as normal for everything else. Any questions?
Yes, I have a question. May I, Mayor?
Go ahead.
Okay, Miriam. I didn't know that you were going to be on tonight, but and I actually was going to.
I'm leaving.
Okay, no, don't leave yet, because I have questions. FPL, because I didn't know Byron was on vacation, because I was trying to get a hold of him because I know that you were gone and didn't know you were going to be sitting in on the meeting. But that's okay. Because on my update, I wanted to talk about FPL and the leaning posts, because I had asked that they be recognized by their numbers, and that staff was going to go out. I think Byron was going to go out and take care of that. The ones that are a safety hazard right now that look like they're ready to drop on somebody's vehicle that is, on Hollandale Beach Boulevard. And then you have the ones on 30th, there's a good few of them that need to be identified. Was that done?
Those have been identified, and FPL has already been called on those. It's just a matter of them scheduling for them to come and take a survey and do whatever needs to be done. the one for safety, and if they're really damaged, we call them directly. The one that is iffy, or the one that the leaning one, they have to be lean up to a certain degree, and it's going to be an engineering assessment whether it needs to be replaced or not. That one are tougher to replace. They don't really care about aesthetic as much as they do about safety.
Yeah,
But
and
to
I
answer your
understand.
question, yes.
No, no, and I understand, but we have some that are really leaning, and that he even said at the meeting, the FPL representative, even said they were bad. And also we need to, I also had asked that the lines that are, that you can hang clothes on, you know, I don't know if those were, we need to be able to identify them, because, you know, those could be, the higher ones are your FPL. And then the lower ones, Commissioner, are AT&T, or they're the cable company. So, right, Comcast. So those are the ones that we have to identify too, that have nothing to do with FPL. And again, I know there's some real low ones, especially over there by Dale Village. And if you look on 52nd, you'll see you can just go out there and put your clothes out there and hang them up, because that's how low they are. So I don't know, has anybody done that? From your department, have they been out there trying to identify that issue?
No, as you mentioned, since Byron started it late on Friday, and he hasn't finished yet.
Okay. As long as we're, you know, out there identifying these things. But after the holidays, you know, right now it's kind of tough because of everything and people taking their vacations. But right after the holidays, we'll be on top of it. I hope to see more. Okay, thank you.
Mr. Mayor, can we move to the next item?
I have a comment, one more comment on that, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, and so this is why we have to bring all this back up in front of the commission, vice mayor, mayor, and clerk. You can only do so much in a day, and you keep throwing projects out there, and we want to do them all, but they have to be organized, and that's what we're going to end up doing, so that we achieve everything that we want to do, just like how we did the grants, where we have a priority list, and we'll wait for that planner. Let's drive around and see all the things you want to see, but it all has to be structured and organized, because there's only so many hours in a day, there's only so many people, and there's only so much money. And so, but that's what we're going to do, and we'll get this stuff straightened out.
That's the plan, Commissioner Clark.
Yeah, and that's working together, Vice Mayor.
Miriam, any update on the tent for the playground at the preserve?
I can't eat during the meeting. Okay. Sorry, guys.
Miriam.
Is she gone?
Miriam?
I'm sorry, I was muted. You talking about the canopy?
Right, the one we supposedly got reimbursed for?
The one over the playground.
Right.
Correct?
Correct.
Oh, the one over the playground. Yes, we're trying to see if we can submit that as the next CDBG project. Even though we have money for it, it's not going to cover everything that the total cost for the replacement. And then we have, when I asked, they said the canopy for that area was only on one set of the playground. Let me ask Stephanie, because she knows more about that than I do. Stephanie, can you please explain that one? Maybe she's not there.
Good evening. Originally, we only had a canopy over the big playground. The canopy didn't cover both playgrounds in that area. As far as us getting reimbursed by FEMA, I would have to double check on that. I'm not sure if we got reimbursed and what the amount was. But I have the answer for you for the next meeting.
Okay, I was also under the impression that we were reimbursed for that canopy, and I was in the park not too long ago and realized it still was not covered back again. I understand we're past the end of hurricane season now, and we should have a canopy back up over that playground. It hasn't been on there for a long time, and now our play equipment's really starting to be faded. You know, the sun's taking its toll on it.
Yep.
Yeah, we talked about it to see if it's one of those items we can, it looks like it can be turned into a CDBG project for the park. I remember it's been a while looking at the amount, and it wouldn't be sufficient to do one canopy, and we have to need additional funding, which will be the funding from the CDBG. But as Stephanie said, we'll take a look to get some more detail about it, and then come back with next meeting.
Miriam, for clarification,
Yes.
we did have a canopy on the one section of the playground that was destroyed during the hurricane. And I believe we did get funding from the FEMA or reimbursement to put that canopy back up. It's just, we haven't got a canopy back up. We're not, I don't think Clerk Commissioner was looking for funding to put a canopy up. I believe he was requesting why we still don't have a canopy up when we all, I think, believe that we did get funding to put that canopy back up. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
The reason,
but I think that's
the
what you
reason,
said.
Miriam, the
No, you're
reason
correct. I was
saying
under
that because-
we already got funding
sorry.
funding for that canopy.
I'm sorry. The reason Miriam is saying that because back when Todd was here, when it was first came up as a question, we thought that we didn't get reimbursed or not the full amount. So we took into consideration with applying for CDBG funding to replace the canopy as well as the rubber mat for that section and also for the original playground that currently has sand. But we'll look into it to see if we got reimbursed and what the amount was to see if it will cover the full amount.
Okay, could you have that available at the next workshop for us?
Yes, I will.
Thank you.
And I have a question, Mr. Mayor.
Go ahead.
Okay, my mic's on? Okay,
Yep.
yeah. Okay, Miriam.
Yes, yes.
Okay, when is the FDOT, the request for proposals, when is that happening? Did you say this month?
No, that's October 2021.
No, but you're gonna go request for proposals, aren't you, for the FDOT? To build the
you mean,
walkway, the path.
the current one that we have, yes, that one is going in March.
In March. Okay, and
Yes.
you can't expedite it, you can't do it sooner than March?
Well, we can, but that was my projecting date. Okay, February, March is,
Yeah,
yeah.
well, okay, February, February, okay, that sounds good to me. Thank you.
Okay.
Vice Mayor, go ahead, and then we need to move on. There's a
Yes, you know what? I'm gonna have you remove the item that I have on there, the update, because I've already talked about FPL. But why we have Miriam on, I'd like to know, Miriam, because this would be my last question, because I know we were waiting for the company to come back out. They were gonna, for the Howard Clark Senior Walkway. They were supposed to be out today. I didn't see any vehicles out there, and they were going to look at the job that that they did weeks ago. That was a terrible job. But can you tell me where we're
Yes,
at? With that?
yes, you're correct, Vice Mayor. They were scheduled for today. However, they didn't show up, and Stephanie already went and contacted them finding out why they didn't come and what date. Stephanie, do you have a new date on that? Did they reply yet?
Yeah. Yes, I did hear back from the project manager that's leading the project. They're going to be out tomorrow at 7:30 in the morning.
Okay, and is there somebody from the town that's gonna meet with them? The engineer or somebody
Yes.
that
Yes,
knows?
both the
Or
engineer
a
and
manager
Adrian.
maybe?
The-
JC?
Better to have the engineer.
You gotta
out.
have somebody there that knows
Engineer.
what's what.
Our park supervisor, Adrian Mesa, is going to be on site. Dan is going to be dealing with the water line replacement at Town Hall, but he is aware of it, so hopefully he can stop by there.
Right.
Okay, does the park manager, Adrian, know what's going on with the walkway? Did he see
Yes, he
pictures?
does.
Did he, was
Yes,
there,
Adrian
and
went
was
out
all
there.
these things
Yes,
pointed
Adrian
out?
went out there and took the pictures. He's well aware of what's going on.
Okay, because there's several. Okay, I just want to make sure.
And I would have,
Okay, thank you.
I would have the town engineer go out there. He's the one that's qualified to look at those sort of things.
Yes, he's planning on going there. This gonna take several
Commissioners and
hours, so he got plenty of time.
Miriam, hold on a second. Commissioners and staff, please mute your microphones when you are not speaking. There's a lot of feedback coming through. Thank you. Go ahead, Miriam.
I was saying that Dan is planning on going there. Both jobs are going to take several hours, and the town is not that far apart, so he's planning on going on both sides at one time or another, several times, I should say. So
Okay.
that's his plan. He'll be on site.
All right, Vice Mayor, last one.
I
and we
don't,
can move on
what
to
do
the
you
next.
mean several hours? They're not gonna be working on it, they're gonna look at it. It takes several hours to look at something?
Vice Mayor, what she was saying.
Well, it
confused.
depends what they have to do. You're right. I don't know exactly what he's going to do, but he could very well start tomorrow, depending on what he has to do.
You know what,
And-
if I'm
and
up
then
at
he will report
7:30,
back.
if I'm up at 7:30, I'll make sure I'm there.
Okay.
Danny will be there at 7 o'clock. Yes. So he'll be there.
And the
All right.
engineer is the one that
Okay,
can.
guys, we really have to move on. There's many more items for Public Works that we have to cover. So next item, 10.2, I'm sorry. 10.3, light pole replacement on Southwest 30th Avenue. Interim Services Director Jacques.
What is it?
The decorative light pole
10.3, you mean?
replacement.
Okay, 10.3. This is the same. I'm sorry. This is the same item that was here last meeting. And this is the same one that town clerk added, showing that we received an email, and you wanted to find out if we had a claim so we could do the repair and not spend it out of pocket. And it was a hit and run, so we didn't have a police report on that one.
Okay, do we have the funding to cover this?
That would be a Harry question.
Harry, are you on?
I can
Yeah,
answer.
I'm here. Yes. There is a budget for repair and maintenance. We'd have to just look at the dollar amount. I'd have to compare it to the dollar amount and see what we have budgeted to confirm whether or not it's fully funded.
Okay. Does anyone else have any comments on this light pole? Harry says there is budgeted money. He'll have to look into it to see how much is there. But if this is a budgeted item, is everyone okay with the repair and replacement of these poles?
Miriam, the only thing I would ask you to just to double check with the contractor Imperial Electric is on their proposal. It says one decorative streetlight pole, and the other one from Aero Electric is for two decorative streetlight poles. And I just want to clarify.
Yes, yes, we did double check. Apparently you might have gotten the first quote, or maybe I think he submitted another one. we thought he made a mistake and he sent it back. Unfortunately, it came as a double that amount. So he's way over. We will not go with him.
Okay, who's way over and who are we going with?
Imperial is 26,000 and Arrow is 13.6 something like that. I don't know the exact amount, but it's 13,000.
13,100 for Arrow Electric, and that's for two double-headed.
That's for two, yes.
Okay,
yes.
And
we double check with them. Mm-hmm.
Miriam, hold on a second. JC, I got a quick question for you. Imperial's who we're contracted with, correct?
Yeah, we
yes.
apparently we have a contract with them, yes.
Okay, and guys, I'd just like to point out to all the commission here, this is why I said we need multiple contracts, because we do have a contract with Imperial, but their quote is 26,000 versus the 13,000 roughly for the other company. So JC, how are we going along with contracts? Are they still out, or are you guys looking, or have you got
what we'll do is I'll get with Miriam, and because last I checked, these contracts were like midway through, they're not even expired.
Right.
So if we need to, I'm going to take a look at the cancellation clause. I'll work with Melissa, work with Miriam, and if we just need to cancel and rebid them, we will do that.
Okay, could you have something for the next workshop for us on that item?
I'll bring you an update. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. Any other questions on this item? Okay,
Moving on. Yeah, Mr. Mayor, I have a comment. JC, I don't think that's what the mayor is saying. And we agree, I agree, we need multiple contracts. So I would get with Melissa and start drafting the necessary documents to achieve that. That's what we're asking for.
Commissioner, in order to get multiple contracts with a company, you have to do a bidding process.
Yeah,
I
understand that, but we're not talking about it. We're looking for a direction that we're not going to just have one person with the contract. It's going to be multiple.
What I'm trying to explain to you is that we have a current active contract with Imperial. I need to double check what the cancellation clause is. I don't want to get us in any trouble.
I agree. That's the first thing you have to do. But the intent is to get away from a single person, because I think he was showing by example. Look at the price.
But and Howard, I think we all agree on that.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just straightening out.
Had that discussion a few meetings back. So we'll have JC just update us at the next workshop for this item.
Okay.
All right. Let's see here. 10.5 salvage equipment, small dump truck, interim service director, Jacques.
This is a small dump truck that is in very bad condition. We're just going to salvage it. We just need approval to go ahead and do that. And we move it from site. It's already in bad condition. It's a sore eye. Everybody,
Okay.
It doesn't have.
JC, Miriam, hold on. JC, are we going to need a vote on this, or can we just give direction?
Yeah, I'm not sure if the town code addresses anything like this, if there's a resolution in the past on how to dispose of, but if you just give us direction, we can proceed. I'll work with Melissa to proceed on disposing this vehicle.
Are all commissioners in agreement of giving direction to dispose of this small dump truck? Vice Mayor?
Yes, yes.
Clerk Commissioner? Commissioner Clark?
Okay, Mr. Mayor, we need to always ask the attorney. She's the only one that can give us a legal opinion. So what I would have to say to you, what does Melissa say in our code? That's how you have to do it. Doesn't matter. No one else can give a legal opinion except for her.
Howard, hold on. Attorney Melissa?
I think that I need to look at the code with JC, and we will determine what needs to be done to
do it right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then Melissa, if we could look at this and bring this up at the next meeting, if we could either give direction or vote for the next meeting to dispose of the dump truck, I would appreciate that.
Yes.
And Mr. Mayor, while we got her on the line, just ask her to go forward, if you would, to get these multiple bidders in place, whatever we have to do.
Yes, I've already sent myself a note on that, Commissioner.
Okay, good.
Thank you. Okay. Next item, 10.6, town logo and seals. Interim Service Director Jacques and Project Manager Woodbury.
Mayor, we
Okay,
skipped-
but you
Hold on,
skip over to 10.5.
Miriam, hold on.
If you want.
Miriam.
Okay.
Okay, 1 second, please. We skipped over 10. We skipped over 10.4, please. Could just finish that one off.
No, 10.5.
No, we discussed
10.5 is the one we skipped over.
Guys, hold on a second. We did 10.4, which was the light poles. We did 10.5, which was the salvage equipment of small dump trucks.
Hold on, time out, Mayor. There are 2 light poles. There are 2 light pole items on there. The second one is one that's on Hallandale Beach Boulevard, if I'm not mistaken, that was recently hit by a car.
Yes.
Okay,
so there's 2 different ones. This is the one, the.
Oh,
10th
okay, wait a second.
one. It's okay.
I see the other light pole. Okay. One says decorative light pole, one says street light pole.
That's correct. And Stephanie has the information on that.
Okay, Stephanie, go ahead. We're all on the same page. Back to 10.4.
Yes.
Street light pole replacement. Service Director Jacques, Project Manager Woodbury.
Okay, this is 10.5. This one is a replacement, and we do have the claim for the. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I have this listed as 10.4. Street light pole replacement. Interim Service Director Jacques in Woodbury, and let me pull up the item report here. It says light pole, 12/21 draft agenda workshop commission meeting, December 21, 2020. Claim has been filed with the driver's insurance.
Okay, I'm sorry. I may have a different agenda, wrong number. Okay, this particular one, we do have a claim, and it's standards the way we usually go around after an accident. We file for a claim, and then from there we take the funds, and then we do the replacement. Stephanie, you have some more to say about that?
No, I just wanted to add that this quote is based on FDOT, a contract that they have with that vendor. So we did get state pricing.
Okay. All right. Clerk Commissioner, or I'm sorry, Town Clerk. Town Clerk Martell.
I'm here.
Okay.
That's not, are you talking about 10.6?
Well, we've done we've done both polls, which was 10.3 and 10.4. We did the dump truck, which was 10.5. We're on 10.6 logo and seals. Are we on the same page?
Yes, but that is through Public Services and the project manager Woodbury.
Yes. So I'm about to call that one, and we'll move on to this one.
Okay.
10.6, town logo and seals, interim service director Jacques, project manager Woodbury.
Okay, this is in response to the new logo, and we realized that we needed to either change the one we have, especially the one on the truck. We decided to leave the one on the monument because it will be too much to replace. But then going forward, we're going to need to get the new logos. So Paul Gallo, who had done the previous one, he gave us a quote which is attached for your review and approval. He's also we're also thinking of we're moving the one in the lobby as you come in, the big one on the floor. It's part of the proposal. Please take a look. Stephanie, you have any more to say?
No, that's it.
Miriam,
Okay.
this is,
I do have a question.
this is the town attorney. There are some legal things that we should do if we're going to be considering a logo. Has that been discussed at all?
This is a new logo. I believe that logo was approved before you came. Maybe you don't know the old one. This logo has been, I don't know, it's been approved by the town.
It really needs to be registered as a trademark is what we need to do.
Okay, I don't know.
Okay, yeah. Well, we'll get tomorrow and together tomorrow and register it or begin the process of.
Okay. All right.
Miriam, I did have one suggestion. Maybe we can hold off on the building department's about to start construction. And I don't want, if we replace the logo on the main floor there, in case they're walking out or they're using some equipment out there, I don't want it to damage the new logo. So maybe we can hold off on that, but replace all of the other ones at this time. And then once construction's done, we can come back and do it.
And JC, I had a question
that
for
would
you.
be fine. Okay, go ahead.
JC, isn't that part of the build out over there?
The front there, I don't think it's part of the build out there. I'm not sure.
I don't remember the plan, so
I think their build out is just within the confines of the old administration office.
But I agree that we're going to have construction there. It's probably not a good idea to replace it until we have all the construction on the first floor completed.
There's only a couple of means of egress through the commission chambers and the front door. And if they bring any equipment there, it could damage it. So we can hold off on that, but do the cars and everything else.
Okay.
Okay. There are two ways of going at it. We can go ahead and approve for it, and then when it's time, do it. Or do you want me to come back and we apply for the approval to get it done? The cost is gonna stay the same. It's just gonna be delayed.
It's just a matter if the contractor will hold this price that long.
Yes, you will.
Then if the commission wants to approve it now and then we'll get it done afterward, that's fine.
Yeah, it's a whole package if we do it like that.
Okay.
Okay.
Town attorney.
I'm sorry, Stephanie.
Town attorney Anderson.
Yes.
My question is on this. We're okay with going forward before we register for a trademark on this, or should we wait until the registration is complete?
We can go forward. We should just register. We should plan on going through the process to register it, just to protect ourselves legally.
Sounds good. Okay.
And just for clarification. So are we just going with the seals to make sure that we have it on all the vehicles, or are we going to go ahead with for the vehicles and the bus shelters?
I believe everything except for the floor in the lobby is what we were discussing.
Okay.
Any other commissioners have any discussion on this item? Okay, moving on. 10.7 has been removed, so we are moving on to 10.8. Survey services for ADA restrooms. Interim Service Director Jacques.
This is for the ADA restroom. We were requested and required to have a survey done, which we applied. We got a quote for, and it's being attached. And then not too long ago today, we got a quote from the original company that did the survey for the whole preserve, and came a whole lot cheaper than the first one. So we're going with the cheaper one. Unfortunately, it's not attached because it didn't come on time for the meeting.
Okay, so
it was only $500.
We're following procurement on this?
Yes,
okay.
We are.
And we're looking at how much of a cost on this?
They told us $500.
Total?
Yeah,
$500 more, right?
No, this is just to do a boundary survey or a survey, because we're going to be this ADA bathroom. We're going to be connecting it to a lift station that's close by, and Broward County is requiring us, correct me if I'm wrong, Miriam, for a survey.
A survey, yes.
And
Right.
the survey, what
And
she
the
said-
original company that does the survey is, because they were the original company, they only charging us $500 for that additional area.
One second. What's the name of the company?
Land Tech.
Land Tech, but it's, as I said, it's not attached, so please don't look for it. We'll submit
Okay.
it.
Can you
Separately.
please email that to all the commissioners? I would appreciate that.
Okay, thank you. Yes.
That proposal came in late, and then that's why she's bringing it up right now.
Yeah, just please make sure you email it to us so we can all see that. Vice Mayor,
I
you
will
have a
email.
question?
Okay.
I'm just, I'm sorry, I'm just looking at, if I'm looking at this right. You got Craig A. Smith?
Vice Mayor, what she indicated, they got another proposal. Came in,
Okay.
And it's much cheaper than Craig A. Smith. It came in at
Oh, okay.
And
Gotcha.
that's one that they're gonna be submitting to you, the commission, and that'll be the one recommended at the next meeting.
Okay,
Or-
just wanted to make sure.
I mean, we can just do it.
Okay, any other questions?
Yeah, I have a question.
Go
I
ahead.
just want to make a comment, Commissioner Clark. The manager is responsible in the end for all procurement. So the OIG wanted the 3 points of where everything that went through would have 3 points. So you would have your interim director, you'd have finance, and then it stops at his desk, and he has to make sure that it's correct. All the commissioners in the town.
It was just a question.
Mayor, if I could just ask one question, is it being forwarded to the next meeting, or is this a discussion item?
I believe this is gonna be forwarded to the next meeting.
Are you
And-
saying next meeting workshop or next voting meeting? Because I'm going to email it to the commissioners as you requested so we can be voted on. Actually, if it's 500, it's really not necessary, but for your information, I will go ahead and email it to you.
Okay.
Is that
Miriam,
okay?
Miriam, I was planning on
Yes.
putting it under consent.
Okay. I didn't quite understand what you meant by the next meeting.
Yep.
Okay. I wanted to make sure it was, okay, thank you.
Everyone okay with this one?
Yes, but can you go to 12:1? I don't want you to pull that off. I have some notes that I didn't bring up. I have to bring up one more thing. So when you
Okay,
get to it.
You pulled 12-2, so.
No, 12-2, well, 12-2.
Hold on.
12:1, because we were talking about the FPL thing.
Okay, all right. All right, so we're moving on to 11, IT department, 11.1, building wiring quote, IT Director Piccola.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. Yes, this is just to rewire for the new construction down in the building department for all our data and removal of the old cables. Any questions?
Okay. No. Anyone have any questions? No questions.
Okay.
All right. 12. Discussion.
Yes, real quick, I wanted to add with the public service, the update. But I wanted, can you hear me?
Hold on a second. I don't have a gavel. I got an air horn today. So hold on just a second. Let me read the whole title. 12.1, Public Services Update, Vice Mayor Cohen.
Okay, well, we already talked about the FPL, but you know what I wanted to ask is that the pumps on Carolina, the 3 pumps that have been leaking oil for many, many years that we weren't even aware of. That was, which is a big, it's a big project as far as I'm concerned, because that has to do with our drainage. And I don't know if, I mean, we have to have these fixed. So I don't know if we should, I mean, I know we have money budgeted for, okay.
Vice Mayor, hold on 1 second. I believe we discussed this. JC, go ahead.
Yeah, that was approved the last commission meeting, and where, Miriam, correct me if I'm wrong, we already awarded the contract, we're gonna be getting those repaired. Oh, actually, no, they're gonna go out to bid to get repaired. That's what you guys approved. So they're gonna,
Yes, and I explained that, yes.
And we're aware of that, and we're moving on that quickly.
Okay, so you started on it? Miriam?
This is on the, yes, we had 2 vendors come to give us an estimate. The first one that you had was the one that was attached last meeting. In the meanwhile, last week, somebody else came. And then, of course, it's gonna be a request for proposal for that price. So we have to put out the document, the solicitation out. So that will be done next month.
Okay, just want to make sure, because that's something we have to move on and take care of. All right, thank you.
Okay. 12.2.
I have to comment on what the vice mayor is making a point, and this would go, Mr. Mayor, to the attorney, ask her, because this is such of an emergency, can't we go with the manufacturer that of the original pumps, or the one that was coming out? And can we do that? Because you hear Vice Mayor Cohen is making an excellent point. So can you ask the attorney that for me? Or you want me to ask her? Yes, there's only one attorney.
Attorney Anderson?
Yes.
Yes.
Did you hear the question?
I heard the commissioner ask whether, I mean, it's really a question for JC, I think, and for Public Works, what they want to do. Could we do it? If yes, I mean, if it were a true emergency, do we need to do it? That's a question for the town manager and Public Works.
As far as it being an emergency, again, it's a very gray area right now. This has been a condition that's been existing for years, and it hasn't ever been it's never seemed to be an emergency back then. What is the emergency? Is it an imminent threat that's going to shut down right now? Is it not? Right now, we can get the bids and get the work done accordingly as per our procurement policy.
I just want to say that, I mean, there's 3 pumps that are leaking oil. I just learned of this not too long ago.
You and I both at the same time.
All 3 of us. All of us. So Gina, I think the question was answered.
Okay. Any other comments?
I will say this before we move on. If we see, and with Miriam in Public Works, if we see that it's becoming an imminent threat, that it needs to be repaired, we'll take immediate action and we'll notify you accordingly. Okay.
As long as it's done before the rain.
I just don't want to deviate.
It will be. It's an 18 weeks process, 6 weeks for each pump. So that's 18 weeks, 6 months, close to 6 months, including the preparation.
Okay, anyone else? All right, next item, 12.2, discussion of annexation. Representative Commissioner Clark, Town Manager Jimenez.
Okay,
Sigerson.
Mayor, hold on a second, and I don't mean to interrupt, but I have it here that was pulled at the beginning of the meeting.
And that's what I asked.
What?
Hold on. That's what I asked Cohen, and she said 12, the other number, 12.1. But I have listed as 12.2 being removed.
Yes, you're right, Mayor.
Okay.
Okay. Look, wait a minute. Let me just talk. We can do whatever you want to do. This is an important issue. It was pulled last month. And now I can't see, and JC and I talked about this tonight, and we don't see a problem.
Okay,
It's going to be the
Commissioner
manager and I, but wait a minute, let me finish.
Commissioner Clark, respectfully, the vice mayor did pull this item.
You're supposed to, okay, if the item is in someone else's name, you're supposed to take a vote on it. I don't see any problem, and I don't want to have it pulled because we've already pulled it. Let's go forward and keep moving it. And here's what I want to say.
Okay,
That could be the problem.
Let Vice Mayor speak.
All right, here's the problem. I'd like to, because it's annexation, I don't feel that it should be one commissioner involved. I think it should be all the commissioners. So that being said, okay, I think that the manager himself should be the one to gather up all the information from our lobbyists on this issue and then share it to each one of us commissioners. I have a problem with the language. Okay. I think because, again, Howard, because it involves all of us, not one person. We all care about annexation. We don't want annexation. Okay. But it shouldn't be one commissioner. It should be all of us because it's all of us. But because of the sunshine law, unfortunately, it can't be all of us. So it goes to the manager. So let him deal with it. He comes back and he shares it with the commission.
No,
That's
wait a second.
what I want to do.
Wait a second. Wait a second. In the past, if you recall, it is all commissioners. Just because my name is there and I'm going to go out and do the work doesn't mean I'm leaving you out. So let me give you a perfect example. Okay, you didn't attend and participate in any of this, Gina, but the last several years, when this would come up, I would invite everybody, and who would show up would be the mayor. The mayor would have to stay outside. I would stay inside so we're not violating any sunshine law. I expect our mayor to be there, and Ray, and you. It's just giving it to where you don't have one person, a manager, doing what the commission should also be doing. And you don't have one commissioner doing totally without a manager. So the balance is correct. And any commissioner is welcome. JC, that's where you'll come in. I used to call up and tell Levy. Levy would call all of you and keep you informed and tell you when the meeting dates were. And we would all be there together as a unit, but staying separate so we're not violating any sunshine laws or talking about it. So that this is okay. And anyone can come and participate. The manager's going to be there, Gina. And then
no, I disagree with you, Howard. And I'm going to tell you, I had a big problem with this when you were doing this, okay? My residents, you had everybody scared because you were going to all the parks, okay? And everybody thought they were losing their homes. I can't tell you how many calls I got, how many knocks on my door that I got, how many texts that I got because of this annexation, okay? People thought they were losing their homes. And I don't want you doing that and going to our districts and doing that to our residents.
And I only did it.
So that's why I'm saying the wordage, the language needs to be changed in there. Because you shouldn't have to go to everybody's HMO and this one and that one. It's not right. It's not fair.
It is fair.
No,
Because the people have to know.
And people will know. Listen,
what happens if they want to get
Hold on. Guys.
You know what you need? You need
to stop. All right. We need to make this civil.
You'll call Sigerson and ask him. He is the more expert on this than
Howard,
all of us. Yes.
Howard.
You could call Sigerson.
Howard, I think what Gina's trying to say is that each commissioner should be reporting to their district and their residents.
Hey, Mayor, this is the town attorney. I'd like to remind you guys that this was removed from the agenda and you voted to remove this from the agenda. So I know you're discussing it right now, but technically you really need to vote to put it back on the agenda. Clerk, am I correct
We
in
didn't
that?
vote. We didn't vote. We didn't vote to remove it.
It was, this isn't a voting meeting.
Right.
I'm sorry, but
So it was discussed to remove it. And one commissioner wanted it removed.
Yeah.
So how about we take this to the next meeting and discuss this again?
That's okay with me.
We
Is
can
that right?
We'll get Sigerson there if you'd like.
If I could chime in for a moment, please. We, at the beginning of the meeting, Vice Mayor did mention that she wanted to remove it from the meeting, but she also then stated that she would want to discuss it as well. So, and these meetings are not voting meetings, but we do want to keep the agenda to what is stated at the beginning or, you know, during the meeting. So, Vice Mayor, you asked to remove it from the agenda. Is that what you would like to do?
Yes.
Okay, so
okay.
Vice Mayor would like
but
to
then,
remove
but
the agenda.
but
The
if I may,
commissioner would like to have a discussion on it. It's up to the rest of the commission to make that decision, please.
well, if I may, and it's up to the commission, Mr. Mayor, if you would let Sigerson, David Sigerson, the lobbyist, who is in the front seat with this, along with anybody else that wants to be there, if he could come up and comment about these issues, because when you're being annexed, you have to get the point out. And it is scary, but it's real. And if you hide, then you're going to get yourself in more trouble. So if Sigerson would come and just comment on that.
Commissioner Clark, I do understand what you're saying, but with all due respect, the Vice Mayor asked to have this item removed. We can move this to the next meeting for discussion and discuss it at the next meeting.
Yeah.
She did say she wanted to talk to the attorney over this item. So give her time to talk to the attorney. We all understand the importance of it.
Yeah.
But let's move it to the next meeting and then we'll discuss it then.
Yeah, the next workshop. Next workshop.
We can discuss it at the next meeting or next workshop.
Make it the next workshop.
Okay, then we'll move this, clerk, town clerk, Marlon, Mattel. We'll move this to the next workshop.
Okay, scheduled for the next workshop, which is January 27th.
Okay, next item, 12.3, food giveaway at Ogelsby Park. Commissioner Clark.
Okay, Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Commissioners, at the going away dinner, or whenever we had the last dinner at the food giveaway, I think that it was mentioned that we would come back and look at this again, and you know, after the new year. And so I'm just bringing it up, you know, so that we all stay with what we said. And if we could maybe once a month, starting in whatever the commission decides, February, March, doing a food giveaway. We're still in COVID and people still need food and they really appreciated it. And so I'm bringing it up as a reminder. That's what we had said, Mr. Mayor and Clerk Commissioner. So,
okay, I have some discussion on this item.
Okay.
So seeing how this is our forum to discuss it, when it comes to getting food here in Pembroke Park, we are fortunate enough to have Feeding South Florida in our town. And if someone does need food, they can schedule a time and actually go over to Feeding South Florida and pick up food. When it comes to these food giveaways, there is a lot of man hours involved. And I'm not against the food giveaways, but let me explain. There's a lot of man hours involved in this process, from getting the trucks, delivering the food, unloading the food, bagging the food, distributing the food, and then cleaning up the park afterwards. There were times when I was there with Joy from 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. Cleaning up after. We had long days, we had shorter days. Commissioner DeVal and I, we spent a great deal of time unloading trucks, you know, and making sure this went off without a hitch. And it's very expensive to do. The thing is, there's no CARES Act funding. And as per this last bit of CARES from the government, it did not include any assistance to municipalities or the states with any funding of the $900 billion bill that went through. So if you're looking at doing this, you're going to have to take some time, put together the exact amount it's going to cost us in man hours, staff, equipment. There were times we had to rent forklifts to unload these trucks. It's a process. So if you want to bring these food giveaways forward, you're going to have to do all the work and bring that forward. And again, we're going to have to staff it as well, which takes town staff and town time. So it's great saying it, but when it comes to doing it, we're not getting any reimbursement on it. So we have to figure out a way to actually do this. So if you want to bring this forward and you want to figure out how to do it, take the time and put it together and represent it to the commission.
Does this new package that they just signed, does that have any COVID money in it? Do you know?
Zero money to the states or municipalities.
Oh, darn. Well,
So-
Ray, I tried. You were the one that mentioned it to everybody and they clapped. So I just thought I would bring it forward to see if we could make this happen. Maybe we could bring it up again and look
like
at
I
it
said,
periodically.
If you want to make
Okay.
it happen,
Yep, I got you.
Commissioner Clark, if you want to make it happen, take
Yep.
the time, put it all together on paper and present it to the commission, including all the cost and the breakdown of it. So
Yep, I got you.
and then bring it
Thank
back
you.
to the commission.
Yep, thank you.
All right, any other comments? Vice Mayor, I saw your hand at one point. No? Okay.
Well, let me
Okay.
ask you, this is the proper place, Mr. Mayor. What does Ray DeVille think? Does he want to,
Was just about to go to him and ask.
Okay, good.
Clerk Commissioner?
I didn't really think about it because the last time we spoke about this FEMA, I was wondering about the FEMA reimbursement. I never got an answer. So right now I'm neutral when it comes to food drive.
And I think the mayor just said that there's no money in the new COVID, so that's a problem. So, okay, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thanks, Ray.
Okay. Any other discussion on this item? All right, moving on. 12.4, Agro-Eco agreements, Commissioner Clark. Sierra Club, what is it? Copia for All?
No, Capoeira for All.
Capoeira for All and professional firefighters.
Yeah, we've been meeting with Melissa and the groups, and this will get closer, or probably will happen in January. And that's where it's at right now. We're close, but because of all the holidays, it'll be in January. At the next meeting.
Okay. Any other discussion?
And thank you.
All right.
Is
Next
that
item.
Sorry, Mayor, is that for the meeting, the workshop or the voting meeting in January?
Workshop.
Workshop. 12.5, grants and funding. Commissioner Clark, Interim Public Service Director Jacques, CIGP, roadway improvements, FDOT, Broward County. We can't hear you, Howard.
There you go. Is that better?
Go ahead.
Okay, so this is one where we met with the county. I think it's Nunez. And so we need to go back and see him again. I just wanted to tell you what we had discussed the first time. And that was the 48th Avenue mast arms and the I-95 Hallandale Beach Boulevard to the west because of the congestion. And there might be some type of planning or something we can get from somewhere, in this program to help identify the problem. So that's what is going to be discussed with them. And I think that meeting has already been set with him. with
Can
the
I,
county.
I'm gonna interrupt real quick here.
Yeah.
Doesn't this fall under Public Works?
This falls under grants that I'm getting any money for anybody to do any project, program. It could be inside town hall. It could be a program for Marlin. This is grants, going out and getting money, funding. So I can keep, because I started all this and I'm right in the middle of all of it. And so
I understand, but this also is under Public Works, which is not the vice mayor's area.
I'm not sure about that. It was getting funding. I guess you could say it could be under.
But Commissioner Clark, you're actually talking about Public Works improvements. So this would be something the vice mayor would be responsible for.
Also, Miriam needs to communicate a little bit better with me as well on these items.
Is it okay, through the chair, is it okay, Vice Mayor, that I could continue working on these grants? Let Miriam keep you informed how she does, and so I can finish them. It's money to the town. For example, I'm the one that sits on the MPO, and there's the lion's share of our grants come from MPO, and I don't.
Howard, no one, Commissioner Clark, no one has asked you to step down from the MPO. That's still your spot. But these items here, to me, in my opinion, these are all Public Works items, which are Public Works improvements, which should be under Public Works, which falls under the vice mayor now.
Yeah, and I hear what you're saying. What I'm asking, does the vice mayor have a problem that I go and finish up and keep working on these projects so that someone's doing it?
That would be up to the vice mayor. If
Yeah, that's what I said.
Relinquish these grants to you to handle. That's completely up to her. So, Vice Mayor, what is your?
Well, I'd like to think about this, but don't forget, we're going to have a person working on the grants too. We're bringing Heidi in.
Right.
So she's going to be working on these grants. So that's going to be a lot of help. And so I don't know about that, Howard. I mean,
well, I should be able to.
I'd like to see what happens with Heidi.
Yeah, but
Howard, some of the stuff I don't know is finishing up. Some of the stuff sounds like new stuff to me.
Oh, okay. Well, the new stuff, go through the list and see what you think.
But okay, so Howard,
Vice Mayor.
Howard, this is just going to be my opinion here. Anything to do with Public Works should be under the vice mayor. Anything to do with the fire department should be under the clerk commissioner. Anything to do with the clerk's office needs to be under the clerk commissioner. You know, that's
for MPO.
MPO is still under you. You are still the one at the MPO. We get that. And no one has ever mentioned anything otherwise. So you still remain at the MPO, but I do believe any project that involves Public Works should be under, and this is just my opinion, should be under the vice mayor.
Yeah, let the vice mayor decide what she wants to do, and we can go, bring it up and whatever she wants me to do, of course, I'm going to do that. Is that fair, Gina, Vice Mayor?
Again, I want to see what happens with Heidi and how this works out. And, items.
How about we discuss this at the, guys?
Yeah.
How about we just discuss this at the next workshop?
And then in the interim, Gina, Vice Mayor, in the interim, so nothing slips through, I will keep monitoring and working on them. Then when you decide that Heidi is ready and you want her to take something over, I don't have a problem with that if that's the will of the commission.
My only concern is that these are Public Works items and should be under the commissioner that's the liaison to Public Works. That's just my thought, my 2 cents on it.
If you want to vote to do that at the meeting, no problem, but they will be, of course. I don't have a problem with that. All I'm trying to do is hold on to them where the town gets their due share. And that's all I'm looking for. So it's going to be up to Vice Mayor Cohen, and I'm going to do whatever she says. If she says the planner is going to do this one, that one, that's fine. That's okay. So I don't have a problem. We'll go forward, and she'll tell me what she wants.
Clerk Commissioner, do you have any input on this?
No, but I agree with Vice Mayor. Let's just wait till Heidi gets here and see what happens.
Okay, we'll bring this back up and discuss it again after we have the town planner in place.
Yeah. So until then, I keep working on them, so we don't let anything slip through.
Gina, Vice Mayor.
I'm waiting for you to go to 12:6, and then I'll go.
All right. Any other discussion? Next item, 12.6, Neighborhood Improvement Program discussion. Commissioner Clark, equipment, purchase, lease, repair and refurbish a sewer system, water system, drainage system, roads, sidewalks, seeking funding opportunities, shed improvements.
Exactly. Okay. So what that is to bring money in for anything and everything, so we don't miss a beat. And that's only down there for example, but it'll be determined, by the grant writer, what grants they can get and where it could be fitted in. And that's very important, and establish a district. And I think I can work on establishing the district, the overall umbrella of it. And then
Okay.
when you start,
I'm gonna go back to what I said before. I do believe these all items are Public Works Department items and are the Vice Mayor's responsibility.
all right, if that's what you want, then I'm not going to say no.
I'm just looking, you're sitting here putting in water, sewer.
Right.
Miriam's mentioned it, this is all under Public Works.
And this has all been going on for a long time. And so now it's coming forward. There's a change in the guard. And I don't have a problem with that, Mayor. It's making a transition. That's all I'm asking, is make a fair transition. And that is reasonable and fair, because we were working on this before officers changed. But I understand it. And I would,
Okay, so we don't need like a huge transition that takes months. This isn't like a complete changing of the guards. This is, we move some positions around here, and the Vice Mayor is the Public Works Director. So this should be solely her responsibility, is anything to do with Public Works. So anything and everything to do with Public Works is solely, she's the sole liaison in between that department. And you being in that department would, I'm trying to avoid anything that might be a sunshine issue here. Because with two commissioners trying to deal with the same thing could possibly happen. And looking, at this is all Public Works items. This should all be Gina's items here. This is like, it starts right off. Town of Pembroke Park needs rehabilitation of sewer system, roads, infrastructure, water systems, drainage systems, sidewalks. This was dated 11/24. So this isn't, this memo here is less than a month old, and after the Vice Mayor has taken over Public Works. So this is one of those that you gotta let go of Public Works and let the Vice Mayor, who's head of Public Works, take over as the Commissioner for Public Works.
Yeah, and again, you see a memo there when it was going on the agenda, but it had been talked about months prior. And that's okay. That's what I said. I'm not going to, that is the way it goes. I just want to make sure that it's picked up and it doesn't slip through the cracks. That's it. And then when she tells me what she wants me to do, I'm going to do it.
Vice
Okay.
Mayor, I think
Yes.
this is your opportunity.
Okay, this is my opportunity. And Howard, I want you to butt out. I want you
Yeah,
to
okay.
stay in your lane and let me take over, do what I have to do with Public Works. I've had a discussion on everything here with Miriam, okay? And I mean, everything. I took tours and throughout the whole town. You know, I am just, right now, I'm overwhelmed because of the negligence, because a lot of this stuff wasn't on the agenda. And now, you know, it's, you know, now that we want to do something and we want to beautify the town, then, you know, all this
Mayor,
stuff is coming up.
I would have Vice Mayor.
Hold on, Howard, let her
Okay.
speak. We're not arguing.
Okay, but
One at a
a
time.
lot of these items, again, I've talked with Miriam about. Okay, she's aware of all this stuff. So, you know, just let me do what I have to do. And if you could just, you know, respectfully stay in your lane, that's all I ask.
Okay. Vice Mayor, hold on. Commissioner Clark, go ahead.
Okay. I agree with whatever the transition is going to be. I'm going to say it for now, the 10th time. However, Commissioner Cohen, you are not from the new school. You're from the old guard. And to sit up here and say, you know, I don't even want to go there, but you got to tell the truth. You were here. You were here just as much as the other 4 commissioners, and you didn't sit by yourself not knowing. So let's just move it all forward. All I'm trying to do is hang on so it doesn't drop because of a date, and we'll get through the transition. No problem. I heard you, so settle.
Okay,
So-
Commissioner Clark.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say in my opinion, I think she just said the transition's over. And
Yeah.
respectfully, she's requesting you step out of the Public Works Department in its
Yeah.
entirety so she could run the Public Works Department.
Yep.
Please correct me if I said anything wrong, but that's
the
what I'm
only
getting
thing-
from the discussion here.
The only thing is the MPO. Yeah, you know, that's.
And Howard, you remain on the MPO.
Okay.
And for the 5th, 6th time tonight, nobody has ever mentioned the MPO except for you. No
Yep.
one's mentioned to remove you. You're still on the MPO.
Okay,
So,
10-4. I understand.
all right, we all understand?
Yep.
Commissioner Clark, do you have anything to say? I'm sorry. Clerk Commissioner, anything to say? I'm looking at the names and everyone's names are.
To get adjusted to a new name, I changed it this
Yeah.
time, right?
I see that.
No, I just want to say from what I've heard, I think Vice Mayor was here. She's one of the old ones, but I think at the same time, she didn't really have a voice before. And I think now she's doing what she's always wanted to do.
Okay.
Thank you for that. And thank you, Mayor and Howard, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, Gina.
All right. And any other discussion? Nope. Moving on. 13, new business. 13.1, special magistrate ordinance. Town Attorney Anderson, interim building official Nunez. Ordinance number 2021-001. Discussion.
Do you want me to read the title first?
Go ahead.
Ordinance number 2021-001, an ordinance of the Town Commission of the Town of Pembroke Park, Florida, amending Chapter 7, Article 1 of the Pembroke Park Code of Ordinances to allow for a special magistrate to preside over code enforcement cases, providing for severability, providing for inclusion in the Code of Ordinances, superseding conflicting ordinances and resolutions, and providing an effective date.
Okay. Nunez, building official. Is he here?
Yeah, he's
There
there.
you are.
Yes, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners. This ordinance actually is inclusive to the Code Enforcement Board that we have at this point in time. We're trying to have on a different avenue so we can start addressing the code enforcement issues, especially because the number of cases are piling up real bad. We believe that with the number, the social distancing and everything that is happening, plus in the future, having the special magistrate in addition will be a great asset to the town of Pembroke Park. So, and this is a means, a method that is being used for almost every municipality. I can count 98% of the municipality uses the special magistrate process. So with a couple of them just using the board, and I believe this will be the best option that we have for our town in order to facilitate the code enforcement process town-wise. As always, if you have any questions, I'm here to answer them.
Okay, does anyone have any questions?
Yeah. Can you just briefly explain the process of the special magistrate?
Yes,
Sure.
sir.
Oh, do you want to do it, Miguel?
No, you can do it, town attorney, you can do it.
So Commissioner DeVille, there are actually two methods allowed for in the Florida statutes for code enforcement cases to be adjudicated. And one of them is a code enforcement board, and that was sort of traditionally what towns and cities always used. And then in the 1980s, the statute was changed to allow special magistrates or hearing officers to hear cases with the concept that the hearing officer would be an attorney, and it would be a more efficient, better adjudicated code enforcement process. And so over the years, most towns and cities now use special magistrates. Some towns and cities still use code enforcement boards, but usually in conjunction with a special magistrate. And so this is just giving the town the option to use a special magistrate, and that magistrate has the authority to hear code enforcement cases and make decisions and impose penalties. And also they have the authority to remediate penalties. So it's just basically taking your code enforcement chapter and tweaking it to add special magistrate. And I also just cleaned it up a little bit while I was in there, the chapter.
Okay, and what's the benefit of using a magistrate as opposed to a board?
So I think that I'm going to generalize here, but I think that special magistrates
Hold on, I think we lost
Attorney
Melissa.
Anderson, we can't hear you.
I didn't hear it.
I'm sorry. The special magistrate, as defined in this ordinance, will be a member of the Florida Bar and will have knowledge of local government law. Currently, the Code Enforcement Board is comprised of citizens who are supposed to be residents of the town who sit on the board. And I think over the years, what municipalities have discovered is that using a special magistrate, you tend to have a more arm's length consideration of the facts and evidence presented, and maybe a little fairer outcome than a board where politics might come into play.
Okay, and no conflict of interest, right?
Correct.
Thank you.
Vice Mayor, you had a question? No questions? Commissioner Clark, question?
Yeah, this is outside. When you get done with the issue, I need just one further clarification on what we just talked about.
Go ahead.
Okay. I'm still going to continue the community garden. That really is
Okay,
completely.
Howard, let's wait till we finish the special
Yeah,
magistrate.
that's what I said. Wait till
Okay.
we finish the discussion on this.
Yep, okay. Well, wait. Any more discussion on the special magistrate from anyone on the commission? Nunez, would you like to add anything else?
No, sir. I'm just waiting to see if you have any questions, but thank you. Have a wonderful night.
And Melissa Anderson, Attorney Anderson, is there anything else you would like to add?
No.
Okay. Then moving on to the next item.
If I could just go at a point of personal privilege, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, I will get back to your bit about the park here in a minute, okay?
Okay.
Let's wait till section 17 and then we'll bring that up, all right?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we completed section 14 already. Let's go to section 15. Attorney Anderson, any comments?
I think you put 13.2 on there in the beginning.
I pulled my, we discussed my item in the discussion that we had, so I didn't need to bring it back up. So Marlon, strict 13.2. Number 15, Attorney Anderson.
I do not have any comments.
All right. Number 16, Town Manager comments.
Yes, real briefly here. Tomorrow, as Miriam indicated earlier, they're going to be replacing the water service line to Town Hall, and we won't have any water service or air conditioning here for about 5 hours. So I have Town Hall closed tomorrow. With COVID and just not having water for somebody to wash their hands or do anything or go to the restroom, that's just not hygienic. So we're going to be closed tomorrow, working from home. But Town Hall is going to be closed. Last week, the EPA had a meeting regarding the Superfund site that we have here in town. You're going to start seeing more information as far as their cleanup efforts in the new year in January. And I believe there will be more public meetings to be had on that. And in January, I know they're going to unveil what remediation they're going to be taking, especially what type of construction, what type of improvement or cleanup they're going to be doing. Next week, I'm going to be, as I indicated to the mayor and the vice mayor, next week I'm going to be taking vacation from between the week between Christmas and New Year's. Comes out to about 4 days. So I'll be out next week. I am going to be in town. So call me anytime. I'm just going to be home. Also, I do want to, coming that it's the holiday season, I do want to thank each and every one of you commissioners for, first of all, this opportunity. This month marks my 6th month here in the town. It's been crazy. It's been hectic, but it's been extremely rewarding and it's been a lot of fun. I really appreciate the staff here. They're just good people, hardworking, and you have a great staff here, so you should be really proud of that. But I do just want to thank you, and I want to wish you all a happy holiday and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year as well.
Thank you. Number 17, Commissioner comments. Commissioner Clark.
Okay, so let's just, so I have it all clarified. I stay on the MPO, and then I continue my work over in the community garden.
Yes, Howard. I don't believe, Commissioner Clark, I don't believe anyone has brought anything up about that. Those are still your responsibilities.
Now I know, and I'll stay out of anybody's lane, and I understand. That's the will of the commission. Thank you.
Do you have any comments you would like, other comments you'd like to add?
No, just have a great holiday, be safe, and God bless everybody. We're very lucky. I don't like how I see this COVID. I don't think any of us do, but I think that we'll be okay. I hope, I pray, and just God bless everybody, and everybody be safe.
Clerk Commissioner Duvall, comments?
Yeah, just happy holidays to everybody. Be safe. Thank you to staff for all their hard work, and I look forward to a happier and better next year.
All right, Vice Mayor Cohen. comments?
Yes, I just want to wish everyone happy holidays, and that and just let staff know that they're all doing a great job. Department heads, everyone. You know, we have a lot of work ahead of us, but you know what? We're going to get there. So we got the right people now in place. You know, now it's just moving to get there, and we're going to get there. And we have a mayor who cares about the town and who's been doing a phenomenal job. And the clerk, I mean, all the commissioners, but I'm just glad and that everything is moving along, and, you know, it's going to take time, but we're getting there. But we have a great group of people.
All right. I do have just a couple comments here. On, I believe it's this Wednesday, I have another conference call with the White House on the COVID update. Most of the stuff that we're seeing in the news, unfortunately, is the same information I'm getting put out on that meeting that I have. So if anything does come out that's very important, I will make sure all the commissioners are aware of it and get that information to you guys as soon as possible. But besides that, I think this was a good year. We've made a lot of progress in this town and a lot of changes this year. There's still more to come next year. And hopefully we can see this town keep progressing in the right direction. I'm currently working on trying to build some of those relationships that have been burned in the past with other municipalities, other businesses, still reaching out to all these businesses with the COVID care stuff. By the way, it ended on the 14th. And I would like to report, as of the 9th, we had, was it JC, 13 businesses that applied and 12 qualified for CARES Act funding to help keep their businesses established, when we had 0 the week before. So me actually going out door to door,
it was 0.
Me going door to door actually helped get some businesses to apply for that money. I did continue and get some more out to businesses. They did finally close their date on the 14th. So I'm hoping to double that number. You know, I can't make anyone apply for it, but it was there and it gave the opportunity to a lot. So we're working on the Everbridge and trying to get all the businesses in the Everbridge. So in the future, we can keep them up to date with information like that, because I do believe it's very valuable to a community that is majority business. So that's all I have. I wish everyone a happy New Year and happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and every other holiday we might have between now and the end of the year. I do have a couple announcements I need to make. For anyone who may or may not know, December 24th is Christmas Eve. December 25th is Christmas Day. And then New Year's Eve will be December 31st, and New Year's Day will be January 1st, just like it is every year. Other things that we do have in our announcements is the regular commission meeting will be Wednesday, January 13th, and the workshop meeting will be January 27th. Anyone have anything else they would like to add? Nope. All right. All commissioners have been informed of the announcements and adjournment. Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Thank you, everyone.
Holiday,
This
everyone.
conference is no longer being recorded.
Bye, everyone. Happy holidays.
Bye-bye. Happy holidays.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Happy holidays.
Where's my